Hello and welcome to Mr. Barton's autograph video number 68. Now this week we're going to take a look at how you can use autograph to further study trigonometry or Pythagoras, and this is dead useful because it means that you can use it in your classroom to generate as many examples as you could possibly want, but better still, you can give this file to your students and they can use it at home to practice their trig and their Pythag work. So it's a pretty useful activity, so let's look at how we can construct it. So all I have done is cracked open a blank 2D autograph page. This key's got to go at the bottom, bit of a right click show key, that's disappeared. And what I'm going to do first is construct myself a right angled triangle, but I'm going to do it in a way that keeps it nice and flexible so I can easily change my measurements. So first things first, I need a little point, so I'm in point mode, just pop a point there, it doesn't matter where really. I am going to right click and I'm going to create myself a horizontal line. I am now going to pop myself another point on that line, so maybe along here somewhere, there it goes there. And from that point, that's automatically selected, I'm going to right click and I'm going to get myself a vertical line. And finally, to complete my triangle, I need a third point and I'm going to pop that up here on my vertical line. Now this is where the kind of clever bit comes in, because what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go to select mode, I'm going to click randomly on the unoccupied part of the page to deselect everything, and I'm just going to select this line and I'm going to select this line and I'm going to right click and I'm just going to hide them. And over the last few weeks I hope you've seen that hiding objects is really useful tool when it comes to making your page look exactly how you like it, because now I've got my right angle triangle there, but I can only see my 3 points. So I'm just going to select that point and select that point, right click, and I'm going to join that up with a line segment, select that point, right click, line segment. Notice I'm always clicking away to deselect, click, right click, line segment. Now the beauty of this is I've got a lovely right angle triangle which I can change wherever I want, but it will always stay right angled because of the way I've defined it with the horizontal and vertical lines. Now these grid lines are getting in the way, so I think they've got to go, so let's hover up here, no axes, and there we go. Now I can make all these the same colour, but I can't be bothered with that just yet. Right, let's make it nice and big so we can see what we're doing with this. Now the first thing is I'm just going to make sure that that actually is a right angle, so I'm going to select that point, select that point, select that point, right click, and I'm going to go angle, and I'm actually not going to show the label on this one, but hopefully you can see it's a lovely little right angle. However, I am going to measure this angle down here, so select that, select that, select that. Notice with angles, we've chatted about this before, the order that you select them is crucial, so to define that angle it's got to be point, point, point. Right click, I'm going to go for angle, I'm going to show label this time, I'm going to make it a nice big fat arc size, and I'm going to display my angle to 0 decimal places just to keep things nice. Click OK, and there's my angle, 41 degrees down there. Now the next thing I'm going to do for trig is, and I'm going to get the students to practice finding sides here, so what I'm going to need is I'm going to need to measure a side, so let's go for the good old hypotenuse. So click on that line there, click text box, and straight off autograph is measuring the distance for me. I'm just going to lose that word distance, I'm not a big fan of that, and I'm going to click OK, and there is my little distance measurement there of 4.3, and you can check that if you change things that distance thing moves. Oh, I should say at this point as well, you might want a bit more accuracy, so if you go to view and preferences and you just go to general, you might want to up it to 3 significant figures, and it just gives you that bit more accuracy. And finally I need to measure this side, so I'm going to click that, I'm going to go to text box and I'm just going to measure it there, and I'll leave distance in for the time being and click OK. Now I know what you're thinking, that's pretty useless there, because how can you get students to practice things when they can actually see the distance themselves? This is the clever bit. I'm going to double click on that, I'm going to edit font, and I'm actually going to make it completely white. Click OK, it disappears. But now what I'm going to do is just very quickly in point mode create myself a little rectangle. There it is there. I'm just going to drag around that, right click, and I'm going to group to shape. It's a lovely blue rectangle, but when I hover that over there it gets revealed. So what I can actually do is I can set up an example on the board like that, with that, show them the measurements and say, okay, can anybody work me out the length of that purple side? And when they've done it, there you can check it, did you get 5.2, and then take it away and you can do whatever you like with it. Now I've just done a couple more there where I've set them up a bit nicer and a bit more colourful, but it's the same principle applies, just drag it over and you get it, and you can do the same thing to measure Pythagoras if you want as well. So there is trig and Pythagoras on autograph. I'll be back with a fresh video next week. Farewell for now.